It's strange how an event that takes 3 minutes can change multiple people's lives, but we have a 3-minute video of a deadly accident on the Apple River in Wisconsin, and now the jury is out deciding one man's fate. This is an episode of Just Legal History, and I am your host Mike, and this is a segment discussing the Nicolae Miu case and what will happen. Today we heard the closing arguments in the state's case against him, followed by the defense arguments. Let's first start with the first order of business for the day. The state said that one of the jurors was falling asleep during the showing of a video, so they put the investigator for the state on the stand and he testified that she was falling asleep during the video and should be removed. The defense said that give us all the details because the defense was worried that they were trying to remove a sympathetic juror. In the end, the judge said that the person was an alternate and no impact, so that was decided. Next came up discussions about jury instructions and lesser included charges. Initially, the state asked for first-degree murder and attempted first-degree homicide. Since the law is that either party can ask for lesser charges, and the state did that. In terms of the attempted murder on the charges, jury instructions were added for recklessly endangering safety. What these changes mean is that the jury could find Nick guilty of just engaging in reckless behavior that resulted in death. It gives the jury more to think about. There are definite times when a jury will say that, yeah, a person is guilty of something, just not something to spend life in prison for. Next were the jury instructions. The judge went through all the instruction of what the state has to prove for all of the charges. This lasted about an hour before closing arguments. The judge talked about reasonable doubt and explained that motive is not necessary to prove the charges. Next up was the state's closing argument. So the state must prove one of several things to prove first-degree murder. The state must show that Nick had the intent of stabbing Isaac with the purpose of killing him, and then for the other victims that he was trying to kill them, but it was medical intervention that prevented their death. The state's argument consists of several items. First, Nick could have just walked away. He had multiple times that he could have walked down the river and ignored all the boys and the other people. He chose not to. Second, Nick wasn't afraid. He knew he had a knife, so he didn't have to worry. And the state said that Nick punched Madison, and that removes his self-defense claim. Next up, the defense's closing. Their defense consisted of several things. One, that Nick was afraid and felt he had to do what was necessary to do. He was pushed by Madison, and he pushed back. A fight broke out, and then he was punched, and his head was hit, and he had to defend himself with a knife. Second, they argued that Madison wasn't punched. No pictures were taken. The one picture that Madison took was not on her phone, and they asked why she deleted it. They also argued that if Nick wanted to kill each of the people, he could have finished the job, but he didn't. The injuries weren't life-threatening except for AJ's. Then the defense gave a list of things that went through Nick's mind and put them on the paper. Then they finished with saying that Nick needs to go home and find him not guilty on all charges. The state had a chance for rebuttal, and then the jury was sent their way. People speculated how long it would take, and some polls said that they would find a verdict today, but that didn't happen. The last thing we heard from the jury was that they wanted to go over the fight in the video. So in the morning, they are going to show the video. Let's go over the video they are going to show in the morning.
Sir, run the culture! Always back! this? Who is that? Who the hell is this? He said he was looking for little girl. He said he was looking for little girl.
You're looking for little girl?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
Weirded us out. I even have that part on camera. Did I?
Some young ass kid.
What the hell is this guy's problem, bro? We trying to have fun. Is he finna claim you? He's finna claim you. We don't want this motherfucker. Let it on camera. Let it on camera. He on camera. Oh God. Oh God, he on camera. Oh God, he on camera. He ain't a woman! He ain't a woman! You ain't a woman! He ain't a woman! You killed him! He's dying! He's dying, bro! What? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Are we serious?
The jury asked for the 10 seconds prior to Nick coming in contact with Madison through the end of the fight. At the start of the video, we see the boys yell at Nick as he is out of view. We see Madison come into the picture and she is pointing downstream. We see Nick and Madison come together where they are a few feet apart. One boy is heard yelling he was looking for a little girl. Nick waves to his group, and then some other people come over. The yelling continues, and then we see Riley in front of Nick. They do what looks like them going up and down, with Riley holding her phone. At 55 seconds, we hear a change in tone, and Nick is in the water. He gets hit a few times, and he stands up. We see a boy in the yellow swimsuit push Nick to the water. We then see one guy put his hands on the back of Nick, and Nick jabs out, which we later find out is one of the stabbings. As we can see in the video, everything is chaotic and happens very fast. We aren't always sure when someone is stabbed. Only with some close-ups do we see when Isaac is close enough to get stabbed. So this is the heart of the incident that the jury members want to see early in the morning. And this is the key to understanding what happened. The key questions, though it's not easy to see on the video, and that is if Nick throws the first punch. It is not on the video, but people react as if he did. Did Madison put on a hand on him? How much time did Nick have to decide on each of the people he was stabbing? How was Nick acting or feeling when this happened? Can anyone tell? So we wait for the jury to watch the video and then decide. Will they want to see other pieces of evidence? And are they going to be able to come to an unanimous decision? There is a good chance the jury hangs. So tomorrow we wait and see if the jury makes a decision. If one comes down, I will let you know. Thank you and have a good night.